We only have a few days left in March, and that means we're right smack in the middle of the Sweet 16. The only remaining double-digit seed saw the end of its championship dreams last night when Oregon lost to Virginia. Gonzaga, Purdue, and Texas Tech also sealed their Elite Eight spots. And the madness continues tonight. CBS Sports college basketball writer Reid Forgrave joins me now to break down last night's games and tell us what we can expect this weekend. So it was just last year that we saw a number 16 seed beat a number 1 seed for the first time in men's NCAA tournament history. This year, we only had one double-digit seeded team in the Sweet 16. Reid, why is that?
And remember, that double-digit seed was Oregon, and not exactly a Cinderella. That's like a Nike school. That's like the Nike capital school. And it's a team that was ranked in the top 15 in the preseason. Frankly, this type of Sweet 16 is the one that we're supposed to have. We are supposed to have chalk. There's a reason that teams are 1 seeds, the teams are 2 seeds, the teams are 3 seeds. It's because they have been the best teams in college basketball all season long. Maybe last year we got a little spoiled from those upsets because of UMBC beating Virginia in that epic first-round game, but it's not like this first weekend of the tournament was without drama. I mean, remember, Tennessee, a 2 seed, before losing last night, they almost lost both games in that first round, went into overtime against 10-seeded Iowa, and then, of course, Duke. Duke almost lost to a much lower seed, and so the drama there was still there. Frankly, I think we like to see an upset or two that first weekend, but when it comes time to now, we like to see the powerhouses.
So what about Virginia, Reid? They've never made it to the Final Four under Coach Tony Bennett. Do you think that will change? Because they're in the 8 now, Elite 8.
They are the only team in all of college basketball that ranked in the top 5 in offensive and defensive efficiency. When we look back to last year and them being the first 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed, I think one of the things that we forget is one of their best players was injured for that game. DeAndre Hunter did not play. DeAndre Hunter is playing in this elite game against Purdue and against another coach who's been around the business for a very long time in Purdue's Matt Painter and has never made a Final Four. So one of those coaches is going to make his first Final Four no matter what. But if you look at Virginia, look, they keep games close. They have low possessions games. They are the slowest paced team in college basketball, and consistently, year in, year out, this is one of the best defenses in college basketball. That loss last year was such an anomaly. Them losing to a 16 seed was just one of those things that happens once in a blue moon. I think if you're thinking of teams that not only could make the Final Four, but could win it all, Virginia has to be on the very, very short list.
So there were 2 upsets last night when the number 2 seed, Tennessee and Michigan, lost. So what do you think led to those upsets?
Well, I was at one of those games, and that was Michigan losing to Texas Tech. And it wasn't just that Michigan lost to Texas Tech. It was that Michigan got absolutely smothered by Texas Tech. This is a game that we like to call a rock fight in college basketball circles. The teams couldn't make shots. It was tied 6-6, like 12 minutes into the game. This was, people would call it an ugly game. I would call it a great defensive effort, especially by Texas Tech. This defense, the number 1 defense in all of college basketball. Incidentally, the team that are playing in the Elite 8 is Gonzaga with the number 1 offense in all of college basketball. But they just smothered this Michigan team. Michigan did not make a 3-pointer until 23 seconds left in the game. They were 0 for 18 up until that point. The other game over in Louisville had a lot more drama and, frankly, a lot more controversy. Purdue beating Tennessee. The reason that happened was because in that final minute, there was a foul called on Tennessee's Lamonte Turner when Carson Edwards was shooting a 3-pointer. If you ask that controversy-generating machine that is Twitter, there's no consensus on this call. But if you ask me, it was a really tough foul to call. It sent this game to overtime when Purdue prevailed. So that game may have been the best game of the tournament when Tennessee lost to Purdue.
And you mentioned Duke already, but all eyes have been on Zion Williamson this tournament and really this whole season. So Duke takes the court again tonight. What are you watching for there?
I'm watching for Zion. He has been the story of college basketball since that first night of the season when Duke absolutely blew out Kentucky in the Champions Classic. He has been a remarkable player. People call him, NBA scouts call him the best college prospect since Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, obviously an all-NBA player, an MVP candidate for the New Orleans Pelicans, soon to be on some other team. But Zion is the consensus #1 overall pick. No one else is going number one overall. It will be Zion. And people are watching him not just because he is that preternatural type of basketball player, in that we don't have a comparison for him. The comparison for him is LeBron James, because when LeBron James came into the league, we said, we don't know what to do with a player like this. That's the type of player that Zion Williamson is, and he is such a charismatic player. He's done the impossible. He's made Duke, the team that everyone loves to hate, the most lovable team in college basketball. So I do think that our network, which does the Final Four, is praying for Zion Williamson to be there in Minneapolis next week.
Good point. Reid Forgrave, my friend, thank you very much. Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks. Appreciate it.